Hello and welcome to this premiere reflection of Cosmic Mirror. My name is Siobhan. Some of you might have already met me last night in the dreaming and in the astral spaces. So I have some messages that you sent through to me in the dream space, and I will first start off with explaining the dream that came through. Some of you were showing more presence at specific junctures, so they were like more specific messages for some of you. I do have some names, some places where some of you stay, but we will get into that as we go through the message. This message is timeless and it is for the collective, so it's not to say that those parts of the message doesn't apply to other people, but it just means that it's very specific for those people. Okay, so I'm going to go through what came through in the dream space, and then I did a meditation as well, so I received some images in the meditation, and then I'm going to go through the cards. So it is quite a lot to go through, and it's quite a lot of messages, and yeah, let's see if we can get everything in. First, I do want to say that when I started channeling for these messages and working through everything, the first thing that came through, I received an angel number, a few angel numbers actually. So these might not be whatever you refer to as the angels, or it's a guide, or spirit, or whatever the case may be. And I do want to credit, so these messages are divinated. I don't go and pick them myself. They come through to me specifically, so I don't know what the message is going to be saying until it comes through with that specific number and that passage and that page. So the three that I did get are all happening to be Joanne Scribes, I think it is. So I'm saying to make sure I say it correctly and that I do credit her. So the first thing that came through, the first angel number, and this is why I just want to read this because it was before anything else, and it also confirmed for me that this message, in the dream, there was a mother. So, and it shows in the cards as well, there is definitely a message coming through of a maternal nature. So the first thing with benevolent ancestors, this I think you can take definitely as a message from your ancestors. And it is, think thoughts that make you happy. Be with people who make you laugh and feel good. Do things that make you feel good. Eat foods that make your body feel good. Look after yourself in all ways. Love and pamper yourself. You deserve it. Okay, so in the dream space message, I was staying in a big house, which was, I just want to preface that this dream was specifically messages coming from the collective. So this is also me in the dream space, is also you in the dream space, and I'm experiencing what you're experiencing. So there's a collective part, and then there are some more specific parts. So in a big house that is connected, so there's a lot of colleagues that are staying in different areas, but it seems like the houses are all connected. There isn't really anything breaking up those spaces. And my boss is there, but he is a very sweet boss, and there is abundant fruit, specifically in my house, in my part of that house. And there's strawberries, like massive strawberries like this, and in the garden are these huge blueberries. And I'm looking at this one big strawberry and I really want to eat it, but I feel like I'm not allowed to. And my boss makes it clear that we are allowed to eat of the fruit. We can eat of the fruit, we can enjoy it. And my mom is there, and I have this fear that my mom is going to jeopardize my job in some way. So then I started going through the house, and I was trying to lock the doors, because there were people that were trying to come in, and everyone was just fine with leaving all these doors wide open and no one was worried about it. And I was like, this isn't great. And I found 2 bunches of keys on the outside of the doors, and taking the keys, I locked the doors and I went through the back door. So this is where at the back door all the fruit was. And then I saw someone eating one of my blueberries. I was like, well, that's sad. I don't even get to eat the blueberries. And then from there, it starts getting a little bit more specific here. So then I started seeing a number of you coming through. So there were two brothers that I'm not too sure if they were maybe Afrikaans, I don't know, but they gave me that. If you can't hear, I'm South African, so and I was sleeping, but I don't think this. I checked in with Spirit, and it doesn't actually matter when, so you could be from anywhere. But yeah, so these two brothers, they feature later again, so I'll get back to them. And the person that yeah, wait, let me get back to that, sorry. So then I went through to a village, but it was also an end of these houses. And in this space, the people there, everything was, it was barren. Their fields were barren. They were working really hard, but they didn't have anything much to show for it. And there was this one little spindly vine, and one of the people were doing a headstand next to the vine to try and make this vine grow. And it really wasn't working. And I felt really sorry for these people. And I saw someone there, and this person looked like, I mean, it was a friend I used to have in school. His name was actually not what I said in the dream, which is why it was so weird. But I looked at the person, and they looked similar to this friend I had in school, and I said, oh, I had a friend who was also Manga Kanyisa. So that's the first name that came through, and the person just looked at me and they smiled and they said yes. And so then I had like, sorry, Manga Kanyisi, apologies, Manga Kanyisi. All right. Anyway, so then I went and I had like these sandals on, these black sandals, and the people in this village took the sandals and they threw them in the water, and the sandals were ruined. I was like, meh. And then I had these like pumps, there's like little slipper pumps, and I was going to put the pumps on, and as I'm about to put the pumps on, this guy just like sets them alight. I'm like, what are you doing? I'm trying to like put the pumps out, the fire out, and I say to the guy, put the fire out, and he's like, oh, I don't know how. So I managed to put the fire out in the pumps are burning. And then they were tattered, and then I wanted to leave without my shoes. And he's like, no, we'll wear this, but you have. So then I went back to the two brothers with these tattered pumps. And I was really sad. Before I went though, like I shouted at these people. I was like, now I'm really angry. You like messed up my shoes. And then I walked with these pumps, and it was very terrible. And when I got to the two brothers, they were busy, I think they were like doing some games or something. But before I went into them, there was this big bush of durian fruit. Now, I've never eaten durian fruit in my life, and I don't know what it's like, how you do it or you eat it or anything. And there was a guy there, it was an Indian guy, and he was showing me, there were other people that were also picking of the fruit, and he was showing me how to eat it. So I had this in my hand, and half of it was peeled, and then he said to me, you don't eat the others, the parts that are touching your hand. So I'm like, which parts? He's like, the ones that are touching your hand, you don't eat those ones. So I was like, okay, cool. And then he like missioned off, and then when I was standing talking to these two, well, I was by the two brothers, and I was actually more amenable to them, like I was feeling like more open to speaking to them. And there was two women there. The one was called Nikki, and she had like short darkish hair, and I think she was the wife of one of the brothers or the sister of one of the brothers. And I was talking to them about the fact that it's very nice for me to be able to talk about not wanting people into my space, because you know I've had issues in the past before. And then I clarified and I said, actually it's trauma, I've had trauma around it. And then I said, it's really nice to be able to say it out loud. And Nikki was like, yes, it is. And then Nikki took me to like an arcade space, and I was playing an arcade game, and I didn't do well at the first arcade game. I lost, but then I just went on to another arcade game, and I played that arcade game. And then the last little bit, I was sitting on a very cluttered couch with some, table in front of me, and these two people were playing Scrabble. And the one person playing Scrabble put down a word, Porora, Porora, which turns out is a village in Kerala in India. So I do believe that part of the message is possibly for some of you that are from there. But when they put the name down of the word, interesting. Okay, so when they put the word down, we were like, how did you do that? How did you get like such a high score? And then they showed us how they'd taken the letters and they divided it by certain numbers to see what the highest score would be. So it was a very skillful and clever way of doing it. And then I made a space next to myself on the couch for them to sit down. All right, so now let's go through the meanings of it. So the whole collective message is about definitely about like your workspace, either your workspace or authority figures that you have in your life. For me, I feel that it might be a little bit more the workspace than anything, but this is my cat. So no exit. Sorry. Okay, so the mother in this instance, yes, it can also represent your mother, but I think it also represents a nurturing essence of yourself that is maybe jeopardizing your ability to enjoy the fruits of your labor. Like the fact that you are closing doors off to energies. There are people that you, especially with the home, there's boundaries that need to be put in place with regards to how much energy and how much access people have to you. And you do have the power and authority to do this, and you are able to do it. So it's very much also to do with your self-worth and understanding that, so either it's that you are working towards something that you don't really feel that you can enjoy, that you have access to, or you feel somewhere on a subconscious level that you're not worth having access to it. And I feel that also in this instance, your higher self is coming through to say to you that you do have that authority, that you need to acknowledge and step into your worth. So with the so there was also that message that came through that some people are drawing on your energy to reignite their own youthful feeling or their own youthful energy. And when we went to like the specific messages, so let me just start with okay, that was fine. Sorry, I'm gonna itchy. Okay, wait, let me get my notes and make sure that I'm doing this correctly. Okay, yeah, so Manga Kanyisi was the first one that came through with a specific message. So there are people that are not putting effort towards their own spiritual development, and you are trying to maybe help them in some way, like they're not putting any effort into it, they're not or they don't know how, and you're feeling for them, you want to help them, and whenever you're feeling comfort and ease, their emotions come to overwhelm you, like their energy and what they're putting onto you is overwhelming you. And then when you find another way to have self-confidence in your path and you're like pumped up for where you want to go, they have anger and frustration towards you, which ignites your own anger and frustration, and they don't know how to regulate their emotions, so you have to work doubly hard to do that, and it takes away some of your own self-confidence. It takes away your alignment as well in where you're wanting to go and what you're wanting to do. So that's not just, that could also be for, I think this is also maybe certain areas of the collective. I think there's like a few storylines here, but these specific people came through to lead that and to give those messages and to give that energy through. Okay, so I just want to make sure there wasn't anything else there. Okay, yeah. So when it comes to the durian fruit, the Indian person, like the guy that was giving me the durian fruit, he was like about a little bit older. So there is, with your spiritual development, there is an obstacle, and with this obstacle, it was in the left hand. So it's like it's to do with feminine energy, how gracious you are, how receptive you are in your communication, and it's weird because I feel that this person is actually, you are a spiritual teacher, you've got that authority, and like this also ties in. I think each of you in your own way have your authority in these areas, and you're needing to realize that. But we'll get to now what this obstacle is, because like each of you, there is something that is an underlying current which is contributing to all of this. So yeah, so then when it came to Nikki with the arcade, this is about going back and looking at past ways that you took joy in figuring things out, in learning new skills, and just the joy of doing so. And knowing that when something didn't work out and the skill didn't come to fruition or mastery, you just moved on to the next skill, and they're like, you know, that one's not for me, that's fine. Moved on to the next one, managed to master it, happy days, amazing. And it gave you joy. Like, it's not just in the mastery of it that gave you joy, and knowing that it's not failure, it's just finding out what suits you and what you actually want. Okay. Okay. Oh, and then, so this was really interesting. So with the Scrabble, this was about needing to sort out thoughts and emotions, but you're able to do it in a very skillful and calculated way. And the reason you are doing this is because there's an aspect of yourself that you need to reconcile. You need to make space in your life. And I feel that this is it could be an aspect of yourself, it could be your higher self, it could be your masculine and feminine aspects, but to have those unified, there is something that you first need to clear out, and you need to work through with your emotions and your thoughts before that can happen. Before you can relax into that space. Okay, so I also okay, wait. Let me first give the last two angel numbers. So when it came to having the authority and power to put these boundaries in place, and when you did close those doors, the one door you were able to go out of, this is the message that came through. Follow your intuition. Go with the flow of the changes taking place in your life as they are appearing for your benefit, and will present new opportunities that will advance you along your spiritual and material and physical paths. Okay, and so with the message about clearing thoughts and emotions in order to make space for that union, and also just to be in your comfort and your ease, this was the message that came through. So what was 558? We create our own realities with our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Therefore, use your personal strengths and positive attitude and progressive action in order to reap rewards on all levels. Call upon the angels of abundance for guidance and support in regards to financial matters in your life, and trust that your material needs will be taken care of as you pursue your true life purpose. Invest in yourself and your well-being to ensure that you are functioning at your optimum in all ways in your life. Okay, so after this, what was going through my head was that song by The Killers, and it's are we human or are we dancers? Are we human or are we dancers? Okay, so I'm not going to sing the whole thing. Anyway, so I'm going to read the lyrics to you, and this was really cool when I read these lyrics. So it says, I did my best to notice when the call came down the line. Up to the platform of surrender I was brought, but I was kind. And sometimes I get nervous when I see an open door. Close your eyes, clear your heart, cut the cord. So this to me is speaking about there is a definite call to action for you, okay? And when they're talking about going up to the platform of surrender, it made me think of the Hanged Man. And, you know, this is, in a way, as well, it's when other people call to you and sometimes put you in a space of stagnation. But the Hanged Man chooses to be in that state. So I think it's also you choosing to now assess and see and put yourself in the Hanged Man state so that you can assess and see where you're wanting to go, where your dreams lie. So that part where it says, but I was kind, that for me feels like when people call you, even though you know it's going to stop your growth, you feel kindness towards them, you feel empathy, and so you help them even though it's detrimental to you. So yeah, sometimes I get nervous when I see an open door. And then also clear your heart, close your eyes, cut the cord. So this is also very much about cutting energetic cords with people. All right, so are we human or are we dancer? My sign is vital, my hands are cold. And I'm on my knees looking for the answer. Are we human or are we dancer? Pay my respects to grace and virtue. Now this for me, I feel this whole section that's coming up is saying like, this is what you would always do. Like you would make your decisions based on these things and now you're not doing that. So pay my respects to grace and virtue. Send my condolences to good. Give my regards to soul and romance. They always did the best they could. And so long to devotion. You taught me everything I know. Wave goodbye. Wish me well. You've got to let me go. All right. So then it's the refrain. And then this comes in. Okay. So now this initially confused me. And then when the cards came out, I was like, So it's definitely got to do with, firstly, I feel a connection with your mom or possibly ancestors, and also your own higher self, your soul, your person, your true person within who you are. So this it says, will your system be all right when you dream of home tonight? There is no message we're receiving. Let me know, is your heart still beating? Okay, so I think this is also that bit. I mean, the message is a little bit difficult, but it's speaking to me. I just want to preface this with it. My mom came through for this. My mom also is here right now. My mom's passed away, but I had a difficult relationship with her, which I have managed to heal. And it was part of that healing after her death, that I managed to heal after her death with her, that she wanted to always come through in certain messages. And this is a message she came through in. And I feel that this is going to help some of you as well. Okay, so let's get into it. So the first thing, when I went into meditation, I asked what your general energy, your theme of your reading was, and I saw a glass with rings on it. So it's like a measured glass. And let me see, how am I going to do this? Am I going to go one by one? No, let me say all the messages first. Okay. And when I asked what your opportunity was, I saw a ball of twine or web, and then I saw it like flow into an ordered web. And what you don't see coming, a scissor that was busy cutting those strands. But as the scissor cuts the strands, this purple and blue energy leaks off of those strands as they're being cut. So what is challenging you, I saw this massive root that was growing down, and I heard taproot. And then what's supporting you, I saw an eye, and the eye kept on opening and closing. And when I went and looked closer into the eye, it was just the dark void. There was nothing like in the eye. So your advice is, I saw the threshold card from Kim Kranz's archetypes deck. So basically it's like these it's like 2 feet that are busy pushing at this edge of what looks like a nest. I think it's a nest. Okay. But it's the threshold card. And then what's going to manifest in the next 3 months is I saw sandaled feet, but not the sandals like I had in the dream, but like very plain, like beach sandals. Okay, all right. So let's get into this. So for your theme of your reading, which was this measured glass, I got perseverance through adversity. I got the raven's head, and I got the Knight of Swords. So the raven's head talks about being called to do a work, and the Knight of Swords is your fastest moving card in the deck. So this is definitely a call to action, a call to, even if you don't want to, needing to move towards this work, right? So, and I think this is also where the glass came in, because it's got those measured bits on it. I think it's talking about knowing what's coming, what's needed for this in terms of how much of your energy or how much of your emotion, but I think it's also talking about what you are allowing to fill your cup and how much of it you are allowing in. And I think this is like where other people's emotions and energy comes into play, as you need to be discerning about what is filling up your cup and what you are taking in. And I say that because, yeah, as you step into the work, travel light, there is no need for additional baggage. Literally or metaphorically, everything you need awaits within the alchemical laboratory. So this is about going out within with an empty cup and filling it up with what you want and not with other people's things. Right? It's like using those keys. Oh, interesting. Okay, so also, the raven with its trickster spirit has many symbolic interpretations. It's also linked to the Hierophant card in the tarot. So be on the lookout for a new teacher or mentor. And in your challenge position, you do have the Hierophant. So I think this is definitely, yeah, I know this is definitely linked. I don't think it's linked. So let's actually talk about your challenge. So your challenge, we have past life wound. Right, we've got harvest. So keep in mind, this I was seeing with that taproot, that tree root that was going down, and it was like, yeah, it did look like it was harvesting. Owl, panther, and divine timing. And then we've got the maiden card. Right? And we've got the maiden with the Knight of Coins and the Hierophant. Okay, so the maiden card talks about, well, what struck me from this card specifically was how sometimes there is a difficult relationship or path from going from the mother of the maiden to the mother. And I feel that this is what the Knight of Coins is about. It's been a long journey. It's been an arduous journey, and that there is there's a wound that you have, and I feel that it is related to, the maiden talks about not waiting for someone to save you, knowing that you are able to do that yourself. Yeah, and like I want you to take note of the rose on this card at the top of this card, and I'll show you why in a little bit. But I feel like this card is saying you're struggling to tap in to your own I am, your roots, like, as within your root chakra, and drawing in your wisdom, right? Knowing that you are you are the teacher. You are your own teacher. So this is connecting in with your higher self and finding the guidance that you need. The panther for me has got very specific meaning about your own independence, your own magic. It's about looking in the mirror and seeing who you truly are and the depth of your soul. Okay, so I feel that it's now the time for you to do this, and you might be feeling that you're not able to, but you most definitely are, and I'm going to tell you why. So what is supporting you right at the moment? Let's see. Well, let's first yeah, so what's supporting you at the moment? We have bridge, trepidation, the sword, and judgment. And this was the eye that I kept seeing closing and opening, closing and opening. Now, with judgment, this could really be a past life wound, one of this life. But I feel that it also is, the sword is the ability to cut cords. So you do have this ability, you have the ability to, maybe there is some bridges that are spanning there between these mountains, and you need to cut those cords, the bridges that people have to you. And I'll, just like that ball and that I saw, that was being made into a beautiful web, and the cords that were being cut off from there. So I feel that it's imperative that you clear your energy, you clear who's got access to your energy, and you place some boundaries in place. So despite your trepidation, you do have what you need and you are able to do it. You know that you're able to do it. Okay, so your opportunity, right? If you, well, let's first go to your advice. So for your advice, I've got astral, I have the orphan. Oh, that's something else. The sword also talks about the first time you encounter the sword is with the umbilical cord that gets cut to the mother. So this is also where I was picking up, there's a link between your feminine, your acceptance of feminine energy, and something that maybe, you know, you've had happen in the past. Very, very possibly like a mother wound. And I also do say it with all the love. I mean, my mom is also here, and we all grow and we can all learn from it. And it's not, I'm not saying this in like a bad way or like, oh, your mother or anything like that. Okay, so astral, we have the orphan, we've got the high priestess, and we've got the Queen of Cups. It's definitely the mother, definitely linked to emotions. And sometimes, you know, in the reverse polarity, this can be someone who can be manipulative. Now, this could be possibly have been your mom, or it is people around you that are manipulating you because of this. So we'll get into what you don't see coming as well, and then you'll see why I'm saying that as well. Okay, so with the orphan talks about what do we really truly want? What are we reaching for? It also talks about being abandoned, having that abandonment wound. But it also talks about knowing that this is a universal wound that most people have. Okay. So I feel that with the astral card coming out, there's a few things there. Firstly, if you are in this collective, you did come through in the astral spaces, in the dream spaces, okay? And there's more than one of you, okay? I'm number 2, but there's more than one of you, and knowing that there are other people that share this, that are working through this, that you can, you know, talk to, that you can find support with, you know, not trauma bonding, but like support, you know, so like chat in the comments if you guys feel guided to, and help each other out, but not in a way that's unburdening onto people. Can be helpful. It can be helpful. Also understanding that people can heal. And this, as your advice, right? So this was like the feet that were pushing at the threshold. So with the threshold, I feel that if you are here, if you don't do any dream work, I highly recommend it. And this is where I'm going to explain that sometimes when it comes to working through things, 90% of our subconscious, our mind takes, like our subconscious is in the dream space, or like, you know, or 90% is in the subconscious, 10% is in the conscious, and a lot of what we work through in the dream space. So if there's something that you are, it could be more difficult to work through while you're awake, you can try to work through that in the dream space instead. So setting the intention to, well, if you are unsure and you want more guidance, you can ask for that. or you can ask to intentionally work on this in the dream space. And sometimes you might not even, well, more likely than not, you might not remember, but your mind will have worked through it and you will have healed something when you wake up. Okay? So, what did I want to say about this? There's something I wanted to say about this. Oh, yes. So, yeah, the orphan, I feel, is reaching for the part of you that understands it is the teacher, you know. There's knowledge that wants to come up and, you know, from beyond the veil, right? There's stuff that wants to come up from your intuition and your subconscious to teach you and show you the way. Also to show you the following. So these are all messed up. Okay, sorry. So this is also your opportunity, right? Interesting. I've got Reiki. I've got Bubble Up. And we've got Cultivate the Divine Masculine. I'm just going to point out, my mom is a Leo, so any more signs I needed that this is about the mom for you guys. Maybe it's not. Maybe it is about somebody else. Maybe it is like, you know. But yeah. And then we've got the 7 of Cups. Okay. And this was with the web being made from a ball into an actual web. So I feel that if you have, you place protections around yourself. You cut any cords, energetic cords. Maybe you are not wanting to look at this. So you are rather helping a lot of other people around you. You're taking in all the emotions. There's like a bleeding through of energies, and they're drawing on your energies. So if you do protect your energy, cut some cords and keep clean energy. Maybe you want to go and go for some Reiki, or if you are a Reiki practitioner, it is really helpful. So that's what this Bubble Up is about. And I'm actually going to read this Bubble Up card to you because this was really beautiful. So, and it really is on point. So, your energy, vision, and self-love are worthy of being protected. Many times we look for an outside source. So again, the teacher, you are the teacher. You're right. We look for an outside source for that sense of protection, a romantic partner, intimate friends, or family. But this moment is asking you to treasure your own value and protect it with a golden bubble of protective energy. I don't know if you guys want to do this. Maybe, I think there's maybe a few empaths here, especially with the Queen of Cups coming out. If you don't already protect your energy every day, I highly recommend it. And clearing your energy in the evenings before you go to bed as well. Yeah, I can highly recommend it. If you're finding that you're tired throughout the day, and all these things, yes. Okay, so I see we're at 38 minutes. Okay. But this moment is asking you to treasure your own value and protect it with a golden bubble of protective energy. This isn't just about having boundaries and an ability to say no to what doesn't serve you. This moment is more about you holding space for Source as it lives in you. You are the beloved, embodied, and deserve to be cherished. Cast the sacred circle around your body and soul. Imagine facing your current reality from within its loving, protective embrace. You get to choose what enters that sacred space and what must remain outside. That is the cup, right? This is you taking protective power over your greatest asset, your divine nature. And this is why I say this is a union of your masculine and feminine, or your higher self. You're going to see what the outcome is, okay? So the cultivating divine masculine, I wonder if I should read this to you. Yeah, actually, I'm going to quickly read it to you, just quickly. Many of us have only witnessed the masculine as a form of patriarchy, seeking to command and dominate. But this masculine force which lives inside each of us is seeking to assist you with the force that is power with, rather than power over. And this is often something with people that are manipulative that we struggle with, right? He can guide your steps and help you turn the wisdom, intuition, and insights of the feminine psyche into action and practical magic. Now, if you have a issue or resistance to feminine energy because of a mother wound, you are going to be pushing away your own feminine aspect. So this is very much possibility to have the masculine create a safe protective structure through which your feminine aspect can draw intuition and messages from the subconscious. And then the masculine, once again, enacts that into life and the direction that you receive. Okay, let his capability and kindness expand. Oh, wait, yeah. Expand the perimeter of all you hold dear, making space for you to rest your striving heart. Let go. Get yourself be loved from the inside out by the divine masculine. Allow him to open spaces for the next action while you surrender to partnership. All right, and this is, once you are able to do that, you're able to pull through this intuition. This is also a card about your dreams and options that you have available to you. So this is a call to what you want to do, what you love, but you can't discern that when you've got too much of everyone else's energy going on, or if you've got a bit of a I don't want to say a misperception, but you've got a certain view of the feminine. Okay, so what you don't see coming is believe in yourself. Cunning, the fox with cunning. And the 9 of coins. Look at those fruits, guys. I was like, all fruits up in here. Okay, there was another card that kept talking about fruit too. I don't know which one it was, and I was like, Okay, so anyway, so the fox with cunning, this is also being strategic and logical, and this is you knowing how to do things with a soft hand, right? This grace. This is cutting the cords, but not making a big fuss about it, right? So this is also where I saw the scissor cutting the cords, releasing the blue and the violet energy. So this is also telling me, and because you've got a card here of independent abundance that you've worked towards, your legacy, this is like, your fruit garden that you're going to get to enjoy, right? Not everyone's going to be coming and eating your fruit because it's your fruit, damn it. So, okay. But yeah, and you're going to be able to believe in your work, because when you are, the blue is throat chakra, communication, and the purple is like your third eye. And it's also like your feminine, your intuition and all of your psychic energy. That's like, these people are like busy siphoning off from you. So once you've got all of that to yourself, you're able to put it towards your path. And you are able to reap the rewards and see like, oh my gosh, I am abundant. I've got so much going on for me because other people are not taking it, So yeah, that's really exciting. Okay, so what you're going to manifest in the next 3 months, and this is the sandaled feast. So this is also for me, deep ease, relaxation. And this is just so beautiful because when I heard, are we human or are we dancer? The first thing I thought was dancing with the universe. And that is not to say you're dancing with everyone else's energies per se, but it's dancing with the universe that's within you. And being in union with your higher self, masculine and feminine, and higher self, everything in perfect union, and moving forward through life. And so what you're going to manifest in the next 3 months okay, is cosmic Kundalini. So this is harnessing your own energy. This is cosmic, as well as like sacred union, right? Look at this Kundalini energy there, and this is the divine masculine and feminine in a cosmic union with the universe. Isn't that beautiful? And this is not talking about it does talk about current partners and relationships that you have, but if they are unsatisfactory, it is possibly because you need to refine your energy, refine what you're calling in, what you truly want. Okay, and then the cards that came with those two were the Star and the Lovers. How cool is that? It's like the sacred union, and also like union of the higher self, like cosmic union and hope and renewal. Oh, this is also for me Beauty and the Beast was my favorite Disney princess film, and it's very interesting because I always thought it was about one thing, but then later on I was told that this is about freedom and independence. So it's about the freedom to be yourself. The call to action, the call is coming from your higher self. It's your soul. And you are within the next 3 months going to manifest this. So, yeah, good luck to you guys. Thank you so much for being here. And please do leave me a comment if you did visit me. That would be really cool. And yeah, see you guys next time.